The Everglades, one of the most amazing habitats in the world, provides a home to thousands of species of plants and animals, and water for millions of Floridians. But many people are unaware of the threats facing this unique ecosystem in their own backyards. The Arthur R. Marshall Foundation for the Everglades is committed to reversing this trend, educating the community, and protecting our fragile river of grass. The Arthur R. Marshall Foundation was founded by John and Nancy Marshall and named after John's uncle, Arthur R. Marshall, a scientist and conservationist who spearheaded efforts to preserve Florida's fragile wetlands.
My dream is that every child in Palm Beach County becomes a steward of the Everglades.
And that means we need to educate folks about the importance of the Everglades.
What kind of animal do you think did this?
And that has to start now. Without that immediate start, South Florida in particular is going to have some serious trouble.
The Everglades today is half the size it was just a century ago, and yet we rely on it to support many more people. But most Floridians are unaware of the impact the Everglades have on our daily lives and one of our most precious resources.
So many people don't know that 1 in 2 of us depend on the Everglades for our drinking water.
And to me, one of the most important global issues we have is sustainable water. So it's not just there because of interest to us because it's a beautiful place and it's a natural preserve. It's the lifeblood of our water system. So we need to do everything we can to preserve it.
Now you've got 7 million people who daily use the Everglades to use water, whether it's washing an infant, whether it's a glass of water, whether it's washing your car, or perhaps even watering your crops. There's a tremendous need for those resources.
In conjunction with that, we are a tree planting organization. We plant 100,000 native species in support of Everglades restoration. We teach the kids the value of the trees historically to the Everglades, and then we take them out and they become stewards of the environment by planting their own tree.
There used to be a historic pond apple forest in the northern Everglades, so we're trying to restore that. It helps to filter the water, it helps to produce more oxygen, so it does a great job of actually restoring our ecosystem, which is what we're about. So, guys ready? All right, what do we do first?
Developing, promoting, and delivering science-based education and outreach programs to our youth and the community is the mission of the Arthur R. Marshall Foundation.
So education, and more education.
The Arthur R. Marshall Loxahatchee National Wildlife Refuge, also named after John's uncle, acts as an outdoor classroom for students.
Oh yes, I love coming out here. It's my favorite part of working for the Marshall Foundation.
But when kids can't get out to the wetlands themselves, the Marshall Foundation brings the Everglades to them with in-school presentations.
Alligators and crocodiles look different, but they also live in different places.
And a one-of-a-kind canoe expedition where scientists and environmentalists broadcast live into schools directly from the Everglades.
I'm really excited to have everybody watching us. This is our 4th year doing this, and every year it gets more and more exciting. Through podcasts and live video, we're actually interacting with over, I think, 3,000 elementary and middle school students.
So they'll be able to ask us questions live. We'll be able to answer them live. You can't beat that.
The foundation also engages children through the arts with Everglades Through the Eyes of Our Children, a program which provides students with cameras and pairs them with mentors so they can experience the Everglades in a whole new way.
When I'm in the Everglades, I feel honored. I get to go over there and preserve the beauty.
Their work is then exhibited at the Wally Finley Gallery, one of the premier art galleries on Palm Beach.
Well, for once I feel like I'm like a superstar or something.
So we know that by working with the kids and getting the kids to open their eyes to the environment, that if they can connect to it and realize how fantastic, how important, how magical, and how precious it is, and how fragile it is, if you can get people to understand that, then you're going to protect it because you can't do anything to stop yourself from protecting it because it's just so important.
This hands-on approach to education can also be seen in the Foundation's Summer Internship Program.
The Summer Intern Program is an 11-week program, and they get to meet with mentors each week that are experts in their field. And so they get to form this complex picture of what Everglades restoration is. At the end, they become ambassadors for the Everglades Restoration Program.
And we knew that by educating the younger generations, we would be developing the leadership to get the Everglades actually restored 30, 40 years from now.
Engaging the community and increasing awareness of this jewel in our backyard is another important part of the Foundation's work.
And the more people we can get to visit is going to do so much for the local economy, but also that ecotourism that's generated is going to help in terms of the Foundation's educational efforts and getting more people to understand that conservation and restoration is the only way to go when it comes to our future.
Everglades restoration impacts our economy as well as our environment.
And we know that for every dollar that goes to the Arthur R. Marshall Refuge, about $7 is returned to the economy, just in the birding and the boating and the fishing that go on, just in this one refuge.
What motivated me the most has been in getting involved in seeing how the money is really going to do what they're telling me is going to be, which is the projects, the scholarships, and not things that would not be impacting the future goal. I think that there's a lot to be said to how the money is being invested.
The Arthur R. Marshall Foundation is one of the leading foundations that is working to educate the population as well as provide hard research on the Everglades on why we need to retain this as a natural resource.
I wish I lived here.
This is a very philanthropic community, probably second to none in the country. We want to do our best to help direct some more of those funds towards our local environmental issues. If you're in South Florida, investing in the Everglades is a really good long-term investment.
Well, if we don't restore the Everglades, it's real simple. We will not have enough water. We will not have enough of the basic elements that we consider common to our lives here in South Florida to actually enjoy any quality of life.
We are probably reaching about 25,000 students, and we're in 104 of the schools. It's just not enough. We need to do more. So the more funds that we can raise, the more we can do.
I mean, that's what the Marshall Foundation is all about, is preparing the leaders, the next saviors of the Everglades.
Thanks, Arthur R. Marshall Foundation!
I really am happy to be a part of this.
It's been said, in the end, we will conserve only what we love. We will love only what we understand, and we will understand only what we have been taught. And the Arthur R. Marshall Foundation is teaching our future generations about this precious resource, so they'll grow up to conserve, protect, and love one of the most unique and special habitats in the world. The Arthur R. Marshall Foundation for the Everglades, planting seeds for the future.